happy Sunday, Oaklawn race fans. Nancy Holthus joined alongside the incomparable Crystal Conning. We are happy to have 10 races on today's program, but first, we are joined by a celebrity guest here in the Oaklawn Today
Celebrity
studio.
sighting.
Come on up. We saw him walking by. We're like, get up here. Yes.
What are you doing?
You know what's today? I do have to share something with you guys. You know, a lot of the mutual clerks kind of hang out, behind the racing office and wait to clock in and everything. And they were asking, "Where's Crystal from?" We love the new show. And I said, I feel like Michael Jordan when he had the dream team. Because this is it, ladies and gentlemen. But I saw you had something in your hand, Matt. So this is what Matt got at the Oaklawn Rotary. A Razorback rubber ducky.
That's awesome.
So that should be like front and center in the collection.
It's a much needed addition.
Yes.
Especially when we've got an Alabama duck up there. That's not acceptable if we don't have a Razorback.
I think
I
that
love
is
that
beautiful.
he's
Look at that.
even
Look at
got
that
a little
close-up.
mohawk. Like he's got the
he's
little
got
Razorback.
big
Love,
red.
and look, can you turn him around?
Yeah,
Get the little
his little
tushy.
tail.
It's even got the little squiggly tail, the little curly tail. So cute.
Big red. That's
Big, as it should be. So, did you know the Arkansas Razorback mascot? I think his name is Tusk.
Like the Fleetwood Mac
Like,
song.
yeah.
Oh.
So very cool. So, we're winding down the first couple weekends. You got a little break. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna go back to California, see the rents, and
Yeah, I'm going back to the West Coast and seeing Mom and Dad. So it'll be a good time to spend the holiday season and
warmer weather?
warmer weather.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have to bring this jacket. But I feel like we just are starting to get our momentum going now. And now we're going to take a little break. So we're going to have to hone that energy in, and then Crystal and Nancy and I will come back and we will be stronger than ever.
Yes, we will. So thank you for coming in and doing a celebrity appearance. I
Always
love
happy
it.
to come on and say what's up.
All right.
Have
So
fun.
happy
Pick
for you
winners.
guys. Yes.
You too.
Some days I can only pick my nose instead of winners, but we'll see how it goes today. Great 10 race card as we mentioned. But first, let's get some weather. So happy to see sunny skies here today. Clear skies. Track is listed as good. Winds out of the northeast at 4 miles an hour. A little Matt's crawling on the floor like a Navy SEAL. I love that. Temp is currently at 46 degrees, so that is going to go up throughout the afternoon, especially with those sunny skies. We had a really good day of racing yesterday. The Tinsel Stakes we ran, so let's take a look at our news page. And how about that? The Steve Asmussen train rolled in the station. 3 wins for Steve and riding doubles for Keith Asmussen and also Francisco Arrieta. Manny Esquivel snuck through the rail to give War Campaign his very first stakes win. That one trained by Phil Sims, owned by Jerry Namey. That was a really, really good race.
Awesome.
Fantastic ride by Manny. I'm a big fan of his. Louis Q in the last is what we like to say. That means Luis Quinones is now just 1 victory away from 4,000 trips to the winner's circle. Such a huge milestone. And some good news, the Graded Stakes Committee has upgraded the Fantasy from a 3 to a 2. So very happy to announce that upgrade, and it's, in my opinion, well overdue. Personally, I would have liked to have seen the Count Fleet upgraded from a 3 to a 2, but we'll take what we can get. Live racing after today will resume Friday, December 29th, and certainly want to wish happy holidays from all of us to you here at Oaklawn. Well, we know what Matt's going to do for the holiday little break. What's your plans?
Well, I was in Australia last month, so no trip home for me.
Yeah.
But we'll have a Friendsmas kind of situation.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so my friends and I, we always get together for like Thanksgiving and Christmas. We call it Orphans Thanksgiving and Christmas because we're all on the road away from our families. So.
I took in this orphan
She
on
did.
Thanksgiving. She was
did.
one of 19 people at my house. Thank
Yeah.
goodness I was able to borrow chairs and tables from Oaklawn Chapel. But yeah, that's always kind of a racetrack tradition. You know, a lot of times we're away from our families and we consider each other families. So it's not an uncommon thing to have your work family over to celebrate the holidays, but that's always a good time.
How about you? What do you guys get up to?
You know what? After having 19 people at Thanksgiving, I really don't want to do anything. No, but probably have maybe a Christmas brunch with my mom.
Nice.
Maybe we always do lasagna. It's kind of a tradition for us.
Awesome.
Maybe on Christmas Eve. So maybe get together with some friends over the holidays and turn it up a little. But yeah, we've got a busy week though next week.
We do, yes. We're going to be hard at it on the backside, bringing some really cool stories up for everybody to see. So it's going to be really cool.
I hope everybody is enjoying all of the amazing content that Crystal, myself, and we can't leave out our amazing social media team with Sophie Fleischner and Madison Hardcastle. So a lot of hard work has been put in to bring you some extra nuggets of information during the race card. Let's go ahead and get our races underway. Race number 1, we're going to start out with fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of 2, claiming prices $16,000, and they will go 1 mile in distance. And we have a field of 7 to start things off, and it would be kind of interesting, Crystal, if they came in that exact order.
I know. The morning line does predict it so far, so it's going to be kind of fun. And I did take the 1 horse on top here, the morning line favorite, My Cajun Lady, for Dan Ward and Nick Juarez here. Gets in really light in this race. She's going to carry just 114 pounds. Ran a decent race last time out for the 6250 tag at Delaware. First off, the claim here for Dan Ward, who is hitting at a 27% clip at the moment. First off, hasn't won at the mile yet, but was not beat very far, just a nose at the 1.70 distance, 2 back, so I think she's more than capable of getting this trip. And she should be super fit coming in from Delaware. That is a deep, kind of heavy, tiring track, so she should have a little bit of that fitness advantage there. And she also has 4 sharp local works, including being the bullet in her second last work at a half mile here.
Yeah, that half-mile bullet work really jumped off the page for me. And our horsemen, or our fans, they know what Dan Ward looks like because he was the longtime assistant to Hall of Fame trainer Jerry Hollendorfer. He has gone out on his own since then, and he certainly has many decades of experience. Even before Jerry Hollendorfer, he was a longtime assistant to the late great Bobby Frankel. So certainly make sure you take a close look at Dan Ward's runners. But yeah, he was with you at Monmouth this summer, so you got a good feel of his style.
Oh, absolutely, and he does an exceptional job. His horses always look incredible in the paddock. Like, he's one of those trainers that you can tell is very hands-on in the barn and takes care of all those little 1% things that, when you're playing a game of inches, those 1%ers really matter.
That's a great way to put it. It literally is a game of inches, because when you see those nose and the necks, those can cost a lot of money.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a good way to look at that. But I did go with the number 1, My Cajun Lady, as well. Nick Juarez aboard. And the 3rd place finisher in that last out did go on to win in her next start. So Dan does very well off the claim, as Crystal mentioned. So we'll see if we can get him to the winner's circle for Brad's Equine Adventure. Race number 2 is for 3-year-olds and up. Also non-winners of 2, but a claiming price of $30,000, and they'll go 1 mile and a 16th. We do have a field of 9. Morning line favorite is the number 8, Been Dreaming, Jimmy DeVito and Christian Torres. What are your thoughts here in the second?
I took the 9 on top here, Humor Me Now, for Aaron Shorter and Schwann. Lightly raced horse, 2 best efforts have come at 2 turns. Was claimed last time out when running second for the $30,000 tag at Remington Park. Ran a 70 buyer, which is definitely good enough to figure in the top here, I think. Broke his maiden here at this trip by 8 lengths. Barn has favorable stats first off the claim and is also 33% second up off a 180-day layoff. He broke his maiden on the lead, and there doesn't seem to be a ton of speed in this race. He may be able to get across early from that 9-hole and dictate terms and run away with it.
I went just to the inside with the morning line favorite, Been Dreaming, Jimmy DeVito and Christian Torres. Does come off a 162-day break, but the barn excels coming off of that similar style of layoff. Also is transitioning from turf to dirt, another area where the barn really does have high impressive stats. 1 win did come here at Oaklawn, so broke the maiden here, and I'm thinking looks to sit and rate and fire in the stretch. So I think there's going to be enough pace up front to set up the running style for Been Dreaming. Race number 3 is a maiden claiming $40,000, and it is for 3-year-olds and up, going 6 furlongs. And a major scratch of the number 6, our 9-5 morning line favorite. And you kind of have to readjust, or I did anyway. I thought that horse really jumped off the paper. But let's talk about race 3.
I took the 3 horse in here. I was going to try and beat the 6, so I'm extra happy that she had to scratch. 3, True Emotion here for Doug Anderson and Walter Dela Cruz. Dropping back to the claiming ranks here. Ran a couple of good races in similar company here last meet. Getting to have had a few too many tries for me, but has been on the board in 7 of 9 outs. There's a bit of form around this filly with next out winners in her last couple of starts, and the barn is 30% with this time length of time between runs.
Yeah, I do like the 2. Used her second, but I am going to go with the number 5, Going the Distance. Matt Shire with Francisco Arrieta is going to run for the tag for the first time today. That's one of the biggest drops in class reliefs in racing, going from maiden special weight into maiden claiming. And with that being said, Matt fires 20% when going from maiden special weight in for the tag. Also, making that last start at Churchill in early November, it was sprinting on the turf, had a lot of early speed, and the barn does 43% with horses making their last start at Churchill and their new start at Oaklawn Park. Very, very high statistics. So with all that natural early speed, I think she is going to be the one to catch. And also 10 Strike Racing is part owners on the number 5 going the distance, and had an exceptional meet last year. Wouldn't be surprised to see that happen again. A very popular syndicate. And speaking of all the claiming races, I hear Matt report the claims. He'll say 18-way shake. We've had a 21-way shake. So it just shows you how competitive the claim game is here at Oaklawn Park. And it's not uncommon to see multiple horses claimed out. Listen for that if you're interested in those. Race number 4, fillies and mares, 3 and up. They'll go 6 furlongs, and it is maiden claiming $12,500. Do have a scratch of the number 1. We will have a rider change on the number 6 to Luis Fuentes will be the pilot. Did see Mary Rampolini's tweet, can you still say tweet since it's now called X?
I think so.
I love how they all say it's X, formerly known as Twitter. But Mary Rampolini did report that he should be returning to the saddle probably around New Year's sometime. Okay. So no broken bones, just to give his body some time to rest and recover. But race number 4 does have a scratch of the 1, which means the number 2 will now be breaking from the rail. Have some horses that do have quite a bit of experience under their belt. Morning line favorite is Even Money on the number 7. Oh my God. From the barn of Sippy Contreras, who is already off to a phenomenal start this season. Manny Esquivel, his nephew, in the irons. I love the way Manny rides. And also wearing the silks of Fleury Stables. And here's, I think Matt talked about this yesterday. Fleury is claiming a lot of these horses and just dropping them in class. He's wanting to win over his home track. Yep, what are your 100%. Thoughts here on the 4th?
Yeah, look, I think we're in agreement. Oh my God. She looks the wonder beaten here. Like, I really don't like picking these horses that seem too good to be true, but she does look to be head and shoulders above this group coming off that second on debut at Keeneland. Sometimes those maiden claiming races at Keeneland can be not as kind of stout as you think they are, but she ran a 68 buyer there. She's 20 points almost better than the next highest in here, and she did finish ahead of 2 next out winners in that effort, so I think she's solid enough. She's got a solid work pattern. Looks like a slam dunk in here, but I'm always quietly cautious of these ones.
I hear you. Sometimes the red flag might be waving, but we've seen Fleury Racing be successful in several of those. Yeah, exactly. In those aggressive entries. Sippy does very well off the claim. They took this filly for $50,000, and as I mentioned, Fleury already has 3 wins on the meet. Does well off of this type of layoff and is getting blinkers. That's a really decent move for the barn also. So anytime I hear, oh my God, I think of Janice from Friends.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
That's how it's spelled.
Yeah, it is. It is, absolutely. So, yeah, we'll see if, oh my God, I can't wait to hear Matt's call.
Oh my God.
Is he going to go a little Janice on us? I don't know. Race number 5 is a very stacked 50,000 starter allowance condition, 3 and up, and they will sprint 6 furlongs. Morning line favorite is the number 1, a la carte, from the barn of Sean Williams. Christian Torres aboard, and comes off a really good third, but that was against non-2 for 50. What are your thoughts in the 5th?
Yeah, look, I landed on the 3 horse here, Kingdom, for David Jacobson, Ramon Vasquez. This 6 furlong distance to be 3rd, beaten just over 2 lengths there. And the 77 buyer he ran there is definitely good enough to compete in this group. And he is a winner over this course, having broken his maiden here back in April. I think this is a pretty tough group, but this horse has to be considered, I think, on the connections alone. David Jacobson's got huge stats and is...
Agreed.
Exactly, and has found the winner's circle here already a couple of times this meet, so... I'm going to respect that one. And you are too.
I am as well. Yeah, when going from Aqueduct to here to Oaklawn, 14%. And it's interesting, this gelding 3-year-old was actually entered at Aqueduct for a starter on December 2nd going 1 mile. And that was a 50 starter as well. So I like to think that, because we have better purses, that he thought, this horse is definitely going to be competitive. So they put him on a plane and got here. But I do look for this horse to be out front early. Not a whole lot of speed in the field, so very easily could go from the bell. Very solid field here for the 5th. Before we get to race number 6, we're going to take a quick commercial break and give you some additional info. We'll be right back.
The thrill of thoroughbred racing is always available with Oaklawn Anywhere. When they can't make it to the track, Arkansas residents can watch and wager on horse races from all over the world with any smartphone, laptop, or tablet, anytime, anywhere. Go to oaklawnanywhere.com or download the free Oaklawn Anywhere app and register for a $150 sign-up bonus. Bet online anytime with Oaklawn Anywhere, Arkansas's exclusive window to worldwide racing. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
I love a good fist pump. When you cross the finish line on a really good race, you feel so confident about. Have you ever done like the fist pump or just throw a number 1 or something like that? Do you have a signature?
I don't, because I feel like those things should be reserved for special occasions.
Okay.
I did throw out my first winner at Churchill, and when I have,
As you should.
Yeah, but then when I watch the replay, I'm like, oh, why'd I do that?
No. I'm going to respectfully disagree. I mean, that's that's absolutely. I mean, if it's, a good allowance race or something, or you want a stretch duel or something, absolutely
I was
go
like,
for
we
it.
we should encourage more of that, guys, in the room. Let's get some fist bumps going.
I think so. I like that. It's good energy. I think the fans like to see it.
Yeah.
Race number 6. Oh, before we get to race number 6, did you see the commercial for Bret Michaels here in Hot Springs again on December 30th, and then the Rocket Man, the Elton John tribute show on New Year's Day night?
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
I'm a huge Elton John fan.
You are?
Yeah, saw him in concert with Billy Joel.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Oh my gosh,
That's
absolutely amazing. But 2 amazing concerts here at Oaklawn. You can go to oaklawn.com and click on entertainment, and that will take you to the link for tickets. So yeah, don't want to miss those. Not sure how many tickets are still available, so you better hurry. Race number 6, maiden special weight 2-year-olds going a mile and a 16th. Just one first-time starter, but a lightly raced field, and that can be quite a ways to go for a 2-year-old. Breeding is super important in these.
Absolutely. I took the 3-horse in here for Kenny McPeak and Julian Leperoux. I don't love that this horse hasn't won in 4 outs, but it does have a fitness advantage now and should be starting to hopefully come on a little mentally with that race day experience. Ran 3rd behind Dornock, 3 out, who, as we know, Major's little brother, went on and won the Ramsden, so pretty solid horse to run behind there. And Redfield, actually, who ran last in that race, won here on Friday at a routed ground. So bit of form he came out of. And Kenny McPeak has a 17% strike rate with 2-year-old route horses, which is very good.
Yeah, you see a horse that just keeps knocking at the door. It's like, what needs to switch to really get them closer to that winner's circle? I think today could certainly be the day. Exit some very, very key races. 2 back was 3rd, and the runner-up was a next out winner. And that last race was second to a horse by the name of Track Phantom, who was a $500,000 purchase from the Steve Asmussen barn. So Crystal mentioned he's got a really good foundation of route races, and I think that is going to be the key factor for lat long. And also, Julian Leperoux and Kenny McPeak, very, very consistent together, especially at the distance. They fire at 25%. Yeah. So gotta love that Julian probably has a really good relationship with these 2-year-olds in particular. Absolutely. Race number 7, we're going to scratch the alsos. That means a full field of 12 for a restricted $15,000 claiming for 3 and up. They're going to go very quickly at 5.5 furlongs. Now, when I say a beaten $15,000 race, it's kind of a double condition. It's either non-winners of 3 races lifetime or horses that have not won a race in 6 months. That's August 17th. Sometimes that can be a handicapping angle, somebody that won just before it or is really right there. So a good full field for race 7. How'd you see this one?
I took a little bit of a long shot play in here with the 11, 10-1 on the morning line, Shack's Way for the Greg Compton barn. Hasn't ran for a tag in a long time, this horse. Gets some decent class relief here. Was kind of disappointing last time out, but the 2 efforts before that were very good. He loves Oaklawn Park, being a 3-time winner here, and has also won at this distance. Has 3 local works and has now had 4 starts off almost a year layoff, so he should be cycling forward form-wise, starting to get fit. And the barn has very solid stats in claiming contests with an 18% strike rate. So I'm going to take a little shot here with him.
I'm going to go just to the inside with the number 10, Good Scout. This one, Jonas Gibson, Flurry Racing. We'll see if Staten can have a good day today. Francisco Arrieta aboard. This 6-year-old is a win machine. 36 starts, has produced 10 wins. So 26% win average and 60% in the money average. So was claimed for $25,000 when also facing 2 other than allowance runners back in early August going this distance at Louisiana Downs. So the winner of that race actually came back to win a 10 starter at Remington Park. So also very consistent at the distance. Sometimes horses either want 5 furlongs or 6 furlongs. It's kind of that in between, but is in the money 8 of 9 at today's 5.5 furlongs. I definitely look for this runner to be forwardly placed, and Jonas Gibson does extremely well off the new acquisitions. So we'll see if Staten can have a good day. Maybe there'll be free parking one day across the street. Probably not, but he's still got to pay a feed bill too. Race number 8 is for 2-year-old fillies. This is the first 2-year-old winners race that we've had, and it is an optional claiming price of $80,000. There is actually a filly in for the tag, also a first allowance condition. There will be a new rider, Carlos Hernandez is the rider on the number 10, and they're going to sprint 6 furlongs. This is a really interesting race.
Yeah, this race came up tough, and I have thought about this one for quite a while. I land on the 10 horse here, Extreme Diva, 12-1 morning line. I'm very familiar with this filly's pedigree. I know her dam very well, so she's probably a little bit of a sentimental pick for me a little bit, but she can run a little bit as well. So she was very impressive in her first 2 career outs, winning by a combined 19 lengths there. She comes from a very good family on the dam side. The mare was a stakes winner herself, and she's had 7 foals to the races for 7 winners. Found them a little tough last time out in open stakes company, but the 81 buyer she ran 2 back in the Northern Lights debutante is good enough to best this group. And Mac Robertson also has a 26% strike rate with his 2-year-olds. So I'm going to take a shot here with this little Minbred. I think she's all right.
Well, you went with a Minnesota bred stakes winner. I'm going to go with a graded stakes placed runner with a coach. That's Wayne Lucas with the number 7 Saratoga Secret, Ramon Vasquez aboard. Broke the maiden in the debut at Ellis Park, going 5.5, and then was second in the Grade 3 Schuylerville at Saratoga. Extremely tough race. And then took a little bit of a break and came back in late November at Churchill, going 6.5 in the Fern Creek. Now ran 4th, but it was a much better 4th than it appeared. I went and watched this replay numerous times, and considering the trip, was forced to check at the 3/4, was super wide around the turn, probably 9 or 10 wide coming into that long stretch at Churchill Downs, and was still able to run 4th. So I think he probably didn't run 6.5. I think he ran 7 furlongs that day because of the amount of ground he was not able to save. So I'm going to go with the number 7 Saratoga Secret for the coach in race number 8. Race number 9, we have a first level allowance for 3-year-olds and up, and it's a full field as we scratch just the also eligibles. Here's a look, and the contenders. Morning line favorite is the number 3 Winnemac Avenue, Ramon Vasquez for Jimmy DeVito. What are your thoughts here on our feature?
Yeah, this race obviously been the feature of the day. Came up tough as well, and another one that I was like back and forth. Landed on the 2 OP Firecracker in here for Robert Medina and Christian Torres. I think I made this horse one of my best bets of the day, actually. Genuine staying horse here, ran a really brave race at the 1.25 mile trip last time out at Churchill. Battled hard up the lane in that effort. He was getting knocked and buffeted the whole way up the lane by the horse to his inside, and that just takes so much out of your horse, especially at that distance. Was run over late by a 1-2 favorite and was only beaten a length. So I think he would have won that race if he hadn't been dealing with all that traffic to his inside the whole way. He ran a winning race there with a 91 buyer also. His last win came at the mile trip, so I don't think he's going to be too one-paced or dour coming here on the cutback, which can be a bit of a concern with these kind of older staying types. And Robert Medina is a very astute up-and-coming trainer. I've been very impressed with his horses here so far at the meet, who, of course, learned his trade under Hall of Fame trainer Shug McGahee. So.
You gotta love that, as did Lindsay Schultz. I'm going to go with a bit of a price in here, and that is the number 8, Can't Hush This, 10-1 on the morning line. Randy Morse giving Manny Esquivel the mount. Blinkers come off, and this horse has had 19 starts. At this point, I think sometimes blinkers are irrelevant, when they've had that many starts under their belt, and the numbers for this horse just keep trending the right way. Loves the distance, and 4 tries has produced 2 wins, a second, and a third. I see this horse forwardly placed. Manny can send and not look back. Certainly has a winning edge, and I love the fact that he exits a key race. That came early November at Churchill. That's a 1-turn mile against First Level Allowance Company. A win today would be the 5th next out winner in that race alone, and that was just a field of 8. So already half the field has come back and won either against first level allowance or a very tough starter at the fairgrounds. So Randy Morse's horses look just exceptional in the paddock, and horses are really running this season already for the barn. So I'm going to go with the price with the number 8, Can't Hush This. We got to have an Arkansas bred race on the card, and we close out the weekend with Arkansas bred 3 and up, optional claim price of $25,000. Let me see if anybody's in. Nobody's in for the tag. They all want to keep them. We've got a first level allowance condition, and they will compete 1 mile in distance. And it's an interesting field. Where's Randy is the morning line favorite at 3-1. We'll see if maybe Randy Morse can go back to back.
Yeah, I think he can. I'm going to use Where's Randy here, the morning line favorite on top. He's always competitive in state-bred races, this horse. He was 3rd, beaten just over 2 lengths in his first attempt stretching out last meet. Had that one out at Churchill before shipping in here. That was a bit tough for him, but I think they just used that as a paid work, so to speak. I think that gives him a nice prep to be ready to win back in this state-bred group. He's got one easy local work here, just stretching his legs. That gives me confidence that they think he's fit. But was posting some pretty sharp works at Churchill before that last effort, so he should have a really solid foundation coming in here. And Randy Morse has above average stats with horses 2 off the 180-day layoff, and he's also 17% in state-bred competition.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the number 10, Where's Randy. We'll see if he can get maybe the late double. You never know. Yeah, Sire Flashback is around 13% with horses routing in for the second time. And some, this time of year when we see Arkansas breds, some of them haven't made a start since the last meeting. I do like the fact that this horse has some recency. So Julian Leperoux in the irons, so we'll see if we can get the Morse barn home today.
And our Clockers special.
Oh!
Yes, Clockers special.
Is this horse?
No, it's the 6th horse in this race. Was our Clocker special in here. Classy Socks for Thomas Vance and Kelsey Haar. Our guys up in the tower said, showing that big early speed when blasting from the gate, heads up with stablemate Miller's Right on December 6th through fractions of 23-1, 35, 47-4, and galloped out in 59-3.
Wow.
Miller's Right came out of this work to run a strong second in a tough maiden special weight on Saturday, and Classy Haar, well, she is, but Kelsey Haar.
She is Classy Kelsey.
Kelsey Haar was on Classy Socks in this workout too, so I love to see that she's familiar with the horse, knows the horse is doing really good, and going to go out there and be confident. So that's our Clocker special today, Classy Socks.
That's a very strong gallop out.
Very, yes.
How important, Crystal, is the gallop out? Because a lot of times, like when watching replays and, you see the winner and you see maybe the 2nd or 3rd horse just fly by, how important, like when watching and assessing replays, is a gallop out?
I think it's very important, especially for horses that are coming off a layoff or something like that. If you see them gallop out, you're like, oh, okay, that horse is going to be ready next time. Yeah. And same in the mornings, like a lot of horses can work a nice 49 or so half, but that's it, like they're pulling up by the 7/8 pole. But if you see one really gallop out, or he takes you all the way back around the backside, that's a good indication that he's ready to roll. I love that.
That's something good to keep an eye on as well for our race fans. We have very smart fans here at Oaklawn. They know what they're looking at. In addition to our 10 race selections, we have also put together a $20 show bet bonus parlay. I'm going to start in the 4th, as is Crystal. We are going, look at that. Oh my goodness. We have got the same exact, and we didn't plan this, folks. We have got the same exact $20 show bet bonus parlay in our races. We switch it up as we get to races 7 and 8, but they just have to hit the board for you to make some cash. Long shot play of the day. We're going head to head, girl. I'm going to go with the number 7, Saratoga's Secret, as Crystal leans to the number 10, Extreme Diva. Top pick sponsored by Oaklawn Anywhere. Mine's, oh my God. That is race 4, the number 7. I cannot hear. I can't not hear Janice in my head. While Crystal goes to the feature, that is the number 2, OP Firecracker from the barn of Robert Medina. If you were having trouble doing some Christmas shopping, You know, because you don't know sometimes, like, what do you get somebody
I need
that has
help.
everything?
What have you got?
Yeah. So you have to go check out Winning Colors, the gift shop. There's actually 3 stores here on the Oaklawn property, in the hotel lobby, the casino lobby, and also our Winning Colors here on the main line, just past, right across from the Post Parade restaurant. Great ideas for the horse lover. They've got all types of beautiful glasses, barware, shirts, stuff for the kids.
the stuff
and
in there is
speaking
gorgeous.
stuff for the kids, very excited to have this in our gift shop. Ollie, the Oaklawn Owl, Who's That Horse? This was written, authored by very famous daily racing form writer Mary Rampolini, and illustrated by one of our track photographers, Renee Torbett. So excited to have this in our gift shop. This would be a great gift for anybody, any young horse fan, or just a good introduction to racing. But Ollie, the Oaklawn Owl, as you can see, and just, Renee is just so talented. Ollie and his friends there in the out at the barn area. So yeah, this is going to be a phenomenal gift. And I was told that Mary is going to do a book signing after the new year. So I'm very happy to read this book tomorrow to the kids at Oaklawn STEM Magnet School. So I know they're going to absolutely enjoy it. So you can purchase that in Oaklawn's gift shops. So with that being said, I think we are done.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a good weekend.
Yeah, it's been pretty good.
And the sun is shining. You can't get better than that.
Absolutely.
We're going to have Matt Dinnerman giving you the full set of changes here in just a few. But for Crystal Conning, I'm Nancy Holthus. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in the Winner's Circle.